what were we going to talk about in our final segment?
Okay, here's what I want to talk about, because, and I feel this is interesting, because I think everybody has been not struggling really, and working towards how are we going to emotionally, spiritually, mentally get through it for the next however many years this lasts.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how many years it's going to last, right?
And our lifetime, I think.
What can, what can we do? What approach should we take? And I've been thinking about it, obviously, as everybody has. And it seems to me that, we have to be vigilant. It's obviously very important for everybody. We have to know what's going on, but we also can't be so vigilant and so online all the time that our heads explode and we just curl up in the fetal position, right? I think I said this last week, but
we got to stay in our lanes is where you're going. Find your lane.
Yeah.
Pick a lane.
Catherine Stewart on my podcast this morning, when we had our discussion, she has this great book out called Money. What is it? Money, Lies, and God.
Money, Lies, and God.
Money, Lies, and God. It talks about all of the sort of taxonomy of these bad guys and how they all fit together.
Yeah.
But she was saying at the end of the podcast, like, pick a lane. And I think this is important. Like, not everybody needs to do everything, but everybody has to do something. I mean, and just pick something, no matter what it is, however small it is. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing something. And, newspapers, for example, they don't operate in a way where every reporter at the newspaper works on every single thing that happens under the sun.
Right.
No,
they have a beat.
People have sports and people have business and they have a beat, right, that they cover. And you and I have had beats. We have had self-assigned beats for the last 9 years.
Well, now I'm assigning you the beat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Of doing more of that. We got a beat. Okay.
And that's what we do. And this is our role in this whole thing. Not that we can't do other things or whatever, and other people are going to have other things to do. People are going to organize. People are going to go out in the street. People are going to think of other ways that we can fight back. And I think that, the resistance, that word, resistance, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, 10 million people in Washington, D.C. with pitchforks or whatever. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be a general strike where the entire country shuts down for a week. It would be nice if that happened.
Well, listen, I think all that stuff is going to happen and has to happen. And what you're saying is find your piece along the way with something like that you can do. It might just be like, okay, here's my piece. My piece is I'm going to make sure, like, I'm not saying this for myself, and it can be anything from diving into your community and helping rebuild your community.
Yeah.
A lot of people already doing that, and keeping it stable, checking in with your friends, all of that. But specific things like, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to all of the economic moves so that the population can make. So there's going to be next Friday, right? Is that right? Do I have it right, you guys? The 28th. So the 28th is a blackout. So we're not purchasing, right? And then there's going to be a week in March, I think, or either March or April, we don't purchase anything from Amazon for that week. And so starting with the small steps, like we said before. So maybe your beat, if you're not someone like us that does media and writes and, whatever it might be, maybe your beat is just, I'm paying attention to this particular calendar and I'm going to make sure I participate in all these things and tell 2 other people to join in with me. Let's do this together, forms a team and say, okay, we're all going to, we got the Amazon thing coming up. So let's get ourselves ready for that. Where are our local stores that we need to get to, and maybe start making those lifestyle shifts. So it's not just 1 week in April. Yeah. You're actually figuring out how to be wiser with, our control of the resources that we do have available to us. Yeah. Maybe it's something that had to do with keeping people on top, finding things for, let's say, LGBTQ within the community, or let's say even, they're coming after this RFK Jr. I can't get going on that because my friends here can attest. My head starts to explode. Yeah. He drives me so crazy. But, the threat of taking away SSIs and doing things like, so there's other ways to think about how we can help source those of people in our family, in our friends, in our community who might be seeing their medications going away or their mental health support disappearing in some manner, things like that, whatever might be important. sorry, that's my little rant, but I think it's, I think we can find, not just know what our lane is and find your lane, but if you're feeling like I don't have a lane, you have a lane.
Yeah.
You have a lane. Think of the things, the top 3 things that are most important to you in your life, that affect you the most, that affect the people around you the most, and figure out a way to be involved in a proactive manner so that you can be there to help shore up what's needed behind the people you love so that they're not falling down, that you're kind of there behind it. It will make you feel better if you start to look for ways to do that.